Cam Skattebo fears no one.
I know if I'm physical, I know people aren't going to want to tackle me.
He's knocking people over.
He's tough and he's rugged. He loves contact.
He utilizes his head as a weapon because it actually is.
This guy is built differently. He sees and plays the game like a linebacker.
This rookie running back has been tearing up the NFL, bringing back old school physical and fearless football. He doesn't evade or juke defenders. No, if he can, he's looking to truck and bulldoze them.
I mean this in the kindest way possible. Is he all there?
I'm not sure. Yeah, you're a crazy individual.
I don't like the people who are mocking me, and this is not okay. I'm just kidding.
He's a confident, relentless, tough as nails, and borderline crazy running back who's bringing back exciting football to a team that has been in desperate need of it for a long time.
What's going on, Big Blue? Hey, it's 4 and 6 in a trap.
However, if you pull back the curtains of that seemingly unstoppable player, you'll find a person that's been doubted and overlooked almost everywhere he's ever gone. He didn't get anything handed to him. He had to earn every single touchdown, every single yard, and every single opportunity in his career. Cameron Skattebo's story begins in Rio Linda, California. Skattebo loved football, and he especially loved the physicality of it.
He would put his brother's shoulder pads on, and he would run into telephone poles. Once he got onto the field, it was no surprise the punishment he inflicted on his own body and everybody else.
Naturally, that love for the sport of football translated over to high school, where he joined the Rio Linda Knights varsity team in his sophomore year. His first year as the school's running back was a good one, rushing for almost 1,000 yards and finding the end zone 9 times. However, it would pale in comparison to what he would do in his junior year, because in that 2018 season, he carried the ball 305 times for 3,556 rushing yards and scored 42 touchdowns. A stat line that honestly doesn't seem real. But maybe even more importantly, he literally single-handedly brought his team to the state championship, where he did this.
He just dominated no matter what. It was never a question of who the best guy was on the field from the very beginning since we knew him as a kid.
He broke what seemed like 10 tackles and somehow found the end zone. Cam Skattebo ended this game with 400 rushing yards and 3 touchdowns, and he brought the Rio Linda Knights their first ever state championship. This kid was something of legend. I don't think I've ever seen anything like Cam Skattebo in high school. He was the epitome of a true running back. However, here's where things get a bit wild, because despite all Cam Skattebo had done, he got no D1 offers from any FBS schools.
And it wasn't like the big schools didn't come. You know, we had UCLA, we had USC, we had all of them, and they all had the, he's too small, or he's not fast enough, or just whatever the case may be.
That was the hard part of me, running for 3,500 yards and 42 touchdowns and not getting no exposure kind of took my head out of the game a little bit. But
Cam Skattebo was overlooked by nearly every team in the nation. There was only one program in the FCS that saw the potential in him and gave him a real offer. And that offer came from the local college football program, Sacramento State. But the moment he stepped on the field, he provided a spark. Despite being in a limited role, he still ran for 520 yards and had 6 rushing touchdowns. He was averaging an absurd 9.1 yards per carry. This spark, however, turned into full-on electricity in his 2022 season, as Cam Skattebo became one of the most electric and versatile players in all of college football. Following this special 2022 season, Cam Skattebo entered the transfer portal, looking to make the jump to the next level. The team he was going to was the Arizona State Sun Devils.
On Thursday morning, Cameron Skattebo made it official by signing his national letter of intent.
Going to Arizona State is going to be fun, and I never thought I would be here, honestly.
Coming off a 3-9 record the prior season, ASU hired Kenny Dillingham as the program's new head coach. Skattebo was one of the players that Dillingham believed could help turn his team around. However, due to injuries and an underwhelming roster, the team underperformed in 2023. However, Skattebo truly believed in this team, and he put it all on the line by coming back to ASU for his final season of college football.
I believed what Kenny had going on. He told me he was going to get me an offensive line, and I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's thug it out. Let's turn this thing around, and let's make this team better.
Expectations were extremely low going into the 2024 season, But after a Week 1 victory against Wyoming and a 300 scrimmage yards performance in Week 2 against Mississippi State, Cam Skattebo and Arizona State put the college football world on notice. They finished the regular season 9-2, and Skattebo led Arizona State towards the Big 12 championship, where they humiliated Iowa State.
And this is exactly what he does. How did he stay on balance there? Look at him go! Skattebo breaks defenders. Here he goes again.
That was the highlight of the season for the Sun Devils, as they proved everyone wrong. But it wasn't for Cam Skattebo, because his best performance of his entire college career came the following game in a loss. In the college football quarterfinals against Texas, Cam Skattebo had 242 rushing and receiving yards, ran for 2 touchdowns, and even threw a pass for a 42-yard touchdown. He was literally doing everything for Arizona State, and yet it wasn't enough to carry this team across the finish line. However, his efforts did not go unnoticed, as he was named the offensive MVP of the game, even though Arizona had lost. After this game, everybody knew who Cam Skattebo was.
This brother was something special. I mean, it was a dominant performance. He walked into the game proclaiming himself to be the best back in college football.
I mean, I believe I'm best running back in the country.
And I got to admit to you, I like, who is this guy? You know, and then the next thing you know, I watched him yesterday and I said, man child, man amongst boys.
In his senior year of college, Skattebo ran for over 1,700 rushing yards, had 600 receiving yards, had 24 combined touchdowns, and finished 5th in Heisman voting. He rammed opposing defenders, broke tackles left and right, and headbutted brick walls as his pregame ritual. Skattebo the player was electrifying this season, but Skattebo the teammate was also put on full display. He grew into a vocal, animated, and energetic leader. He showcased a physicality that set the tone for his team week after week. He was the heart and soul of that Arizona State team. After his unconventional yet impressive college football career, he declared for the 2025 NFL drafts. However, NFL scouts weren't high on Cam Skattebo. What he did in high school and college, while great, wasn't really sustainable in the NFL, supposedly, and his lack of elite speed really deterred teams from drafting him.
Skattebo is someone that the next level, he's going to get swallowed up because everybody tackles in the NFL. He's not going to come to the NFL and be a star. He's just not. He's not fast enough, and he's not big enough. You try to get the ball running a sweep, I don't know if he'll get past the line of scrimmage.
With the 105th pick in the 2025 NFL Draft, the New York Giants select Cam Skattebo, running back, Arizona State.
Drafted by the New York Giants in the 4th round, Cam Skattebo was projected to be running back 2 behind starter Tyrone Tracy Jr. heading into the regular season. Expectations weren't too high for the late round rookie. However, in the limited snaps he played in his first few games, he showed just how dynamic he truly is. But by far the game that really put him on the map came in Week 6 on primetime against a 4-1 divisional rival, the Philadelphia Eagles. The 1-4 Giants were underdogs going into this game, but Cam Skattebo showed the whole nation just how dominant he truly is, and he let NFL teams know just who they passed up on.
Hand off Skattebo, runs to his right, fighting for the end zone. Did he break the plane? Yes, touchdown Giants! Skattebo into the line, to the goal line. Skattebo's 3rd rushing touchdown of the ball game. Oh, he does a backflip.
He doesn't shy away from contact. He loves it. He fights for every single yard. He's without a doubt a terrifying player. If you want to tackle him, well then just know it's not going to be easy. And that's exactly what makes Cam Skattebo so special. It's not just his physicality, it's his mentality. He's borderline crazy. He has an unwavering confidence. He's relentless. He's gritty. He stops at nothing to get that extra yard. He's also a great leader that injects adrenaline into teammates and fans. And that's just the kind of player that can change the culture of a franchise. That's the kind of player that the Giants have been needing. Exciting football has been missing in New York for some time now. But Skattebo's energy, along with his physical old school playstyle, has finally brought that back to the Big Apple.